Hi everyone, in this video we are going to swatch and do a first impressions of Urban Decay's new Elements eyeshadow palette. This is a limited edition palette that is available through Urban Decay's website, Sephora, and Ulta. I will put a link in the description box below to where you can find it to purchase if you'd like, as well as a link to Ebates so that if you do purchase the palette, you can get some cash back on your order pretty much through any website that you make an online purchase with. Please remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on videos like this of new products. And if you have not seen the video reviewing the brand new brand at Sephora, which is Kaja Cosmetics, it is a Korean beauty brand in partnership with Mimi Box. Please go check that out. It is a very exciting and cool new brand with a lot of nice products and unique products. So I will put a link to that in the upper right hand corner for you to click on if you didn't see that when it was published. All right, let's get looking at Urban Decay's new Elements eyeshadow palette. So this retails for $52. It is a limited edition eyeshadow palette. The description for the palette says, inspired by the elements air, fire, earth, and water, every shade in the Elements eyeshadow palette is made from Urban Decay's mind-blowing formula that gives each shade its velvety texture, blendability, and rich color that lasts. These shadows have serious staying power that won't flake or fade out on you. As you can see here, there are 19 eyeshadows total, and all of them are never before seen shades, which is pretty astounding because not only Urban Decay, but pretty much every brand is known to, at least people in the beauty community, to always recycle old colors that you are tired of seeing in palettes that you already have 3 versions of because you bought other previous palettes from the brand. So it's very refreshing to see that there is a palette that Urban Decay is releasing that has all new shades. And I want to give you a close-up on this packaging. It is utterly stunning. I can remember only maybe 1 or 2 palettes where the packaging just really has taken my breath away this way. It is reflective, it is glittery. It's just a really, really cool looking palette. Comes with a snap closure and has a full-size mirror. Here are our eyeshadow shades. They do have the names of each shade underneath the pan, which I appreciate. Kind of hard to read though, given the background kind of conflicting with the text there. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna swatch these. I guess I'll start with this upper left-hand corner, go clockwise, then go to the inner circle and end with the center shade, Luna. So here's just an up-close look at the pans. And as always, I swatch the shades with an eyeshadow brush and over eyeshadow primer to try to give you the most accurate view of the shades. Okay, we're going to start with Heavy Water, which is a bright metallic teal. Sapphire Dream, which is a metallic bright navy blue. Electric Air, which is a pinkish silver with iridescent micro glitter. I don't know if you could tell, but some of this blue, a little bit of the flakes kind of went over to the right of the swatch and got into this swatch here. So I went ahead and tried to clean it up. I'm going to redo it for you, trying to get you a clean swatch here, but you can see still a little bit of that blue is coming over. Anyway, this again is Electric Air. It's a pinkish silver with iridescent micro glitter. Antidote is a soft warm nude. This is a matte. Secret Keeper is a bright green satin with a gold shift. Not sure that that gold shift is super strong. Earthbound is a forest green, another satin shade with, it says tonal micro shimmer. Not sure what that means. Elemental is a matte sienna. Volcanic is a metallic bronze. Lioness is a smoky burgundy satin with bronze sparkle. Okay, so here are the first 9 shades. Let's look at them up close. These are absolutely stunning. And I don't mean just the colors and the finishes, I mean the formula. We're only halfway through the palette, so this is my assessment of the first half, but these all applied with so little effort. And what I mean by that is I wasn't digging into the palettes and I wasn't pressing really hard to get the pigment to be opaque or to transfer in this way. You saw, I think with pretty much all of them, maybe with the exception of this shade, but in any case, almost all of them, I did just a couple of strokes and the color just went on really effortlessly. These colors are vibrant and pigmented. And I think my only real criticism is this blue shade is very strong and it likes to kind of flake and jump into other shades, so be careful when applying and using this one. And then the colors don't seem to be as multifaceted as Urban Decay is kind of describing them. So like this, I don't know if this is really a duochromed shade. And then some of these other shades I think are a little more straightforward than as described. But in terms of the quality of the formula, these are really, really nice. Firestarter is a deep red with gold micro shimmer. Dream Weaver is a matte bright pink. Ego is a soft pinkish purple with blue micro shimmer. It's a slight duochrome there. Hex Remedy is a bright purple with iridescent sparkle. Fortune Teller is a metallic pink red with green 3D sparkle and shift. What does this remind you of? Max Club. Silver Burn is a smoky purple with pink iridescent sparkle. Fool's Gold is a metallic gold with tonal sparkle. This is definitely like a lime green gold. Moon Rock is a metallic copper with iridescent sparkle. And Tectonic is a chocolate brown with iridescent micro sparkle. Okay, so there are the swatches from the latter half of the palette. Again, very vibrant, rich, pigmented shades that have a pretty creamy formula, maybe not as completely creamy and smooth across the board as we saw with the first 9 shades, but still, even with a little bit of tapping and layering, these have a really nice effect. You also have to remember that I'm swatching across a much larger section than constitutes anyone's eyelid, so just keep that in mind when the swatches get a little less intense at the tail here. I would say that the ones that were most noticeably less creamy were this shade here and this shade here. This shade is Firestarter, it's the red shade. It's very hard to do matte red, so that kind of makes more sense. And then this shade here is Silvered or Silver Burn. That also was a more dry in texture and in application. Okay, but again, beautiful shades. This club kind of shade is being done by a lot of companies lately. Years ago it used to be very unique, but not so much anymore. And then I'm swatching the middle shade Luna separately because it's listed as a transforming shade. So first I'm swatching this alone. This is a white shimmer with iridescent micro sparkle. That was application with a dry brush. Now I am going to use a foiling method to show you the difference. The purple tone comes out more with a dampened brush. Hopefully you can see that difference a little bit close, not a huge difference. And then I kind of want to test out what the quote-unquote transforming power of the Luna shade is. So with a dry brush, I've swatched 2 matte shades for you and 2 of the shimmering shades for you. And in an attempt to avoid picking up the underlying shade as much as possible, I have applied this and spritzed it with a liquid to use a foiling method, and hopefully that will, and I'm going to use a dabbing method to try to preserve the underlying shade as much as possible. So we're going over Dream Weaver first. Picked up a little more product there, and I'm, like I said, using a dabbing motion. The next shade we're going over is Elemental. You can see that purple really coming out of Luna. Then Heavy Water. And Lioness. And just a few examples to kind of show you what kind of effect you're going to get. Right, so there are some swatches up close. I think having a topper is not that useful. I don't think I've ever personally used one ever in application on the lids, but you could use it alone if you wanted a really frosty white. Okay, there's Urban Decay's Elements palette. Let's start with the cons. I think my biggest criticism would be the seemingly arbitrary nature of the size of the pans. The Luna shade, which is the transforming shade in the center, is the biggest, followed by the shades on the outermost circle, and then in the middle, in that circle of colors is these tiny pans. I'm not sure who chose which colors to be in which size or why, but to me that seems a little bit odd. The palette is definitely larger than it needs to be given the layout of the shades, but that's also, I mean, there's a give and take there because I do really love the look and feel of the palette. There were a few shades that could have been creamier and silkier, but moving on to the positives, I think for the most part this is a very strong showing by Urban Decay, which in the past couple of years has sort of gone downhill when it comes to popularity and being talked about and coming out with really unique quality products, I feel like. But hopefully this signifies a shift in that. And for those of you asking for me to review the Cherry collection, I will be doing that, so just stay tuned. But as for this palette, I am impressed. I think it is beautiful. I think the colors are stunning. I like that there is a nice balance of both matte and metallic shades, although definitely there's a much stronger showing of metallics. I think there's only about 4 mattes. So maybe I take that back. I wish that there were a few more matte shades. So out of 19 having only 4, I would have liked 5 or 6 matte shades to really balance things out. Conversely, most people concentrate the matte shades just in the crease where you don't need as much variety as the colors that you would use on the lids, so maybe you can make a personal decision about whether that's enough matte shades for you. All right, please leave a comment in the section below about what you think about this palette, the good, the bad, the I'm interested, I'm not interested, what you think about Urban Decay generally as a brand, whether you think this is a good shift and that Urban Decay will become more popular again, or whether you just think this is more of the same. I really hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video.